Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. In this episode, we are getting the engine bay ready for paint. So stay tuned. Hi guys, welcome back to another day. This is what we got. So all my primer dried and it looks beautiful. I mean, there's still a lot of work to be done, but for the most part, like this area right here where I have my weld spots, it's all gone. So today the plan is prepare the primer, because if you look at the primer, you can see it's like not super smooth, because I want to get it even smoother. So what I'm gonna do is, that's where the tea kettle comes in, because it's super cold and I want to water sand this all a little bit later, so I can smooth out the primer even more than it is now. That way it's gonna have that perfect glossy finish. And that's gonna be with 320 600 grit sandpaper. Alright guys, so before I take all the paper off, I wanted to spray some of this on the primer, and this is just black paint. It's perfect for guide sanding. So all of this is going to be sanded off, but this is black flat cheap 99-cent can of awesomeness. So I'm just gonna spray it all over the primer area. And so what's gonna happen is I'm gonna sand this, and then it will tell me where there's a low spot, high spot, and then it will tell me also if I got everything sanded, so all the primer stuff. Because when you sand, usually like you can kind of tell that it's sanded, but if you want to be 100% sure, this thing works perfectly. And my biggest areas I want to focus on is these two areas. I don't really care much about the back. Well, I care, but it's not like that much, especially like right there. Everything's gonna be covered there. You won't even see the firewall. So yeah, I'm gonna let it dry, and then I can start taking all this paper off, the plastic. So cleaned out the garage, and so before I paint, I wanted to, well, before I prep it completely, I want to take off the wheels, take off the bar and everything that's around this area, except this thing. This thing doesn't really bother me yet, but we'll see. If I need to, I'll take it off too. But yeah, so I'm gonna put the car right in the middle, or take off everything, drag it outside, and then or put it on the side, and then pick up the car, raise it to a level where I can work peacefully around it, and continue on from there. All right, so I got the whole system out in one piece, and I'm gonna disassemble it later, paint it, do whatever I need to do to it. And then I did end up taking the brake thing off because it's in the way. I mean, it's not in the way, but I gotta bleed it anyway, so I figured might as well take it off. But and I also took the steering thing off, and all I got is fuel lines, brake lines, and that's all that's left. This is gonna come out too, and I'm gonna clean that up too, so it's pretty much ready. I'm gonna take those brackets off over there and that one off over there, and then I'm gonna start sanding this whole thing down. Alright guys, so I just went all the way around and hit it with 320, so it's like almost smooth. And next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over with 600 and get all this black dots off, and for the most part the other ones I'll just wipe them off. But yeah, so I'm just gonna go all the way around with 600, and yeah, it's a very tedious, long process. I haven't done bodywork, paint or primer or anything in this particular stuff in the last year. Yeah, so basically just keep going at it. While I'm sanding, I'm trying to figure out how I want it painted. And like I said earlier, right there I want to undercoat it, and then I'm thinking these rails right here, this one and this one, I'm thinking spraying it black, that way it goes into the rail. And then so all this gonna be gold, all this. And then still trying to figure out what I want to do with this. I'm kind of leaning towards painting it the car color, so just match this whole thing, or maybe gold. So I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do with that. Alright guys, so here's the plan. I want to paint all this black because the gold's gonna be seen through the bumper probably, or whatever not, and I just want this small piece from here to this right here, I want to paint it black. So I'm gonna sand that down and throw some primer, and I'm gonna just spray it with a can, probably this one. And also I got that area right there cleaned up, and I'm gonna throw some primer on there. I didn't get to it last time when I was spraying this whole side of primer, so I'm just gonna throw a little bit of can primer on there. That way it dries quickly. And on this side I took everything off, that all those brackets right there, and I'm also gonna like all of these brackets and everything, I'm gonna spray them black. So I have like all this stuff here, these brackets, like all the little brackets, I'm gonna take them and just give them a fresh paint and clean them up really nicely and all that fun stuff. But yeah, so I'm just gonna spray that, keep sanding, sand the front. Also over here, where I was welding, all of this was catching on fire, so I had to take off all the rubber stuff, and I just put seam sealer on it, and then I'm gonna spray it with undercoat or something and make it all blend nicely. We're gonna undercoat all that, so I'm not worrying about that. But yeah, for the most part, I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna do with this. I'm still trying to figure out if I want to spray this the same color as this, or spray this the same color as this. So anyway, we'll figure that out later, but I'm gonna keep focusing on the front. I wanna get this thing done because it's taking me a little too long than it's supposed to. Alright guys, so I just sprayed that all black, and I'm liking it. So I just went up to here, and then I did decide on painting this gold. I pulled it out, straightened it out. I'm gonna spray some primer, remove the sticker, and then so I'll just spray this whole thing. Unbolted this a little bit, the whole thing gold. But yeah, check it out, nothing is done. All right guys, so I got everything sanded. I painted this underneath side a few hours ago, and it's all dry. So what I need to do next is get this thing all washed, rinse the whole floor, everything, get all this dust, dirt, everything out of here, take all this stuff off of it, and I'm gonna wash it, run to the store, pick up a measuring cup. It's one thing I forgot to pick up out of all the things, and hopefully by the time I get back, it'll dry. Well, hopefully. But yeah, so once I get back, then I can start taping everything off, and maybe if I do it quick enough, I'll be able to spray it tonight, or worst case scenario, I'll have to spray tomorrow morning, which is not something I want to do because tomorrow's going to be raining, so that's a lot of moisture, whatnot. But yeah, that's the plan. So I'm gonna wash everything, prepare it for the paint, and go on from there. Alright guys, that is it for this episode. If you guys liked it, make sure you like, subscribe, share, do all the good stuff. And I did not make it to painting. Well, I made it to painting, but that's gonna be a whole different episode because this episode is a little bit too long. So I'm gonna leave that for a whole different episode. So we'll be back next episode with the final paint job. So make sure you subscribe, and if you want to see that, and if you want to see all the other stuff. But we'll see you next time. Have a great day.